Do you want your biscuit?
Yes. Fuming.
Sorry, baby.
I feel so guilty. His little pigtails. He's going to have some of mine, I'm afraid.
Oh my God, you're a sucker.
I really am.
Get him to lie down and be cosy at least.
Lie down. Oh God, now.
Better than having it yourself?
Yeah. It actually tasted nicer watching him eat it.
Fair enough. I can't wait to give him so many carrots on Christmas.
Oh. Why has he got to wait till Christmas for a carrot?
He can have one before, but just the thought of it being Christmas, we're listening to something on the radio, I pop a little carrot into his mouth on the floor, everybody's happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Have we started?
Yeah.
Hello.
Pop a little carrot in Spinny's mouth. Pop a little carrot, my Spinny baby.
Well, we went to see Wicked for Good, but we're still only singing the songs from the first film, which is...
I couldn't tell you a
Saying
single
something.
song from the second one.
And I have been changed. I can't remember the tune of it.
For good.
No.
Because I loved you.
Because I loved you. Because I knew you.
Oh, knew you.
I have been changed
for good. You know how Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo talk about like when they first sang together and the harmony was so perfect they couldn't believe because it takes years to perfect, but they just that was us just then.
Oh, yeah. It was even better. So I guess that's the first point of the review. Although I would say overall...
What's the first point of the review? Can't remember any of the songs.
Yeah. The songs are better in the first film. And I'm surprised. And I'm surprised that they didn't have a reprise of Defying Gravity.
We'll take it up with Stephen Schwartz.
Is that who wrote the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it up with him.
It might be Schwartzman. I don't know. There's a Schwartz. Yeah.
But we had a fun old time going to see it, didn't we?
I had a lovely time.
There will be spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers for Wicked too. But like, I think I partly have stopped going on Instagram cold turkey so I didn't find out what happened in Wicked for Good. I think that's part of the thing.
I was fuming about
WW.
flip it around, Wicked Witch. I was fuming about that because I was like, well, that's a massive spoiler. She's the Wicked Witch. And then I was watching it and then I was like, she's just the same character as she was last film.
We knew she wasn't good anyway.
Which was evil.
Yeah.
And like nothing actually happened. So that wasn't a spoiler at all. I don't know what I was getting in such a tizzy, but I also don't know why she was pushing that so much on the press tour, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Wicked Witch.
Flip it around.
I tried to whisper to you during it that she was giving Melania, but I
think you did give that to me. But
did I
not laugh enough? Did I not go?
Well, you were like, who the other one? I was like, no, Madame Morabelle.
Oh.
I don't think you, but that's because I'd seen a snippet of Melania reading that children's book. A male slut comes down the chimney.
Does he have a male slut?
I don't know. There's just something about Madame Morabelle that was Melania-esque.
Yes.
I guess because the wizard is very Trumpy.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we enjoyed it. Although it's a funny and silly little film.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite cry. I almost did, I think. But the first film I did cry.
Well, you mainly just cried when baby Nessa Rose goes,
Yep. Yeah.
Because that is the cutest thing in the world.
That is so cute. And when Cynthia Erivo sang and when she saw her inner child, and I wasn't so moved
when she was falling,
by Ariana's, by Glinda's inner child, because it was more Glinda
like, she's
focused.
A spoiled little bitch.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do think Ariana Grande stepped it up for the second one. I guess she had like a journey in mind because they filmed it all in one go. So it's not like she was just suddenly better in the second one after time. Like she obviously had that in her brain, how she was gonna. I just think her singing was better.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed her emotional performance more. And it's true, I kept thinking like, oh, maybe she's got into the character, but that wasn't the case.
It just maybe she was doing what Cynthia Erivo did, which was sing. She sang in a higher pitch tune.
What do you mean?
She sang higher in the earlier songs to represent her being younger, and as she got older, she sang it lower to represent like her aging. Apparently, something like, I don't know. She sang differently to represent a change in her age.
Yeah,
and I think that Ariana Grande might have done the same and I much preferred her older lady singing.
Yeah, I was very critical of her in the first film, and look, I still find it alarming on a few levels.
Yes,
the experience of viewing her, is quite it's distracting. I can't stop looking. I shouldn't be able to see so many bones, and I can.
Yeah,
and I find that a little bit for both of them alarming.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like shush.
No, it's so difficult, isn't it? Because I'm like,
it's a nuanced thing. We shouldn't be body shaming, but I don't think I'm body shaming. I think I'm just saying it's a fact. Frightening for it to be normalised.
She looks unusual. Like, it's an unusual look that isn't on. Yeah, I don't know. It is just like a bit shocking.
Well, it's not that unusual, is it?
That level.
I don't know. I think everybody's getting smaller and smaller, and that's what's so
worrying.
Sad. But so that element is a bit like, but obviously that's not her fault. That's a systemic problem, and there were some ways in which it, like the bejeweled collar bone thing, felt a little bit like fetishizing the thinness.
I've also been like desperate to look that up because I assumed that would have been recorded in the same moment, but I really like as the first one because it's the same scene, but I really don't remember her having the bejeweled collarbone in the first film.
I don't remember it, but I felt like I enjoyed the emotion in her acting, and I was maybe lacking it a bit from Cynthia. I don't know if it's because
I think
her character
right.
has more silly stuff that she has to do, and her like sort of greenified eyes that are, I don't know if they're like, I don't think they're contact lenses. I think they're like computer generated green.
Oh, really?
Like distracts me from the emotion sometimes. And there was a couple of moments like it was weird when it's funny because the moments have to happen to make it match up with The Wizard of Oz.
Sure.
Which is kind of fun in a way, but then they feel a little bit like ridiculous, like with the house falling on Nessa.
Yes.
And then they didn't show her finding out. They didn't show Elphaba finding out. They just showed her kind of there, and like you would have thought that she'd have had a proper bloody. She was just like, let me mourn my sister. You didn't show her finding out that her sister had been killed.
Yeah.
And so there was like, I wanted a big emotional reaction from her that we didn't really get. And the same for when she thought that Fiyero had been killed. It was just a bit like, and obviously the point is meant to be that inside she's like becoming actually evil because everyone has rejected her and all of the people that she loves are dying. Maybe that's the emotional reaction, but I wanted a bit more.
Even so, like her becoming wicked for like literally a single song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be wicked now, and then it's like, actually, I'm actually just joking. I'm actually gonna hide inside a little cupboard. And also, another plot hole.
Yeah.
Dorothy. Why was Dorothy under the ground?
In the little cellar.
They put Dorothy in the cellar, and then they sang, "I have been changed for good," while Dorothy's in the cellar. And then suddenly,
it is really
like,
funny.
She's coming. Is that what happens in The Wizard of Oz? Does she put her in a cellar?
I think she does. Yeah, I think she traps her in there.
Oh yeah, with Toto.
Yeah.
Oh,
but the Dorothy thing was funny.
Yeah. Get in there, little girl. You know, like that's the kind of vibe. I'm like, really? But I did really enjoy the viewing experience.
We didn't see the Bok and Fiero characters
Thank
coming.
God I didn't know that was coming. I was looking up Buck, and Ethan Slater posted on his Instagram a picture of the Tin Man and said, like, Wicked for Good coming out soon. And some people on Reddit were like, I can't believe they allowed him to post this. And they were like, it's obviously planned by the company, but it is a weird thing to like post that, because I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I was very surprised.
Me too.
One thing that I would have liked a bit more clarity on, or a bit maybe, was the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the Cowardly Lion. And also what I don't understand is that they all individually have a vendetta against the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
But am I stupid?
Why
like, in The Wizard of Oz, I feel like they just... I feel like they're as naive on the journey as Dorothy is. But to be fair, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's so... I think it's more just that they want something from the wizard, which I guess if the Wicked Witch is the antithesis of the wizard, then that sort of works. They're all going there because they want to ask the wizard for their heart, their body, and their
heart, their brain, and their courage.
Yeah. But also, so is Fiero meant to have walked around with them being like, I want this, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm actually running away.
And
why is he hanging out with them for a bit?
Fiero doesn't seem like he doesn't have a brain at the end. And Bok, I guess Bok not having a heart did... I was like, why did Bok become so evil? But I guess he didn't have a heart suddenly and he was a Tin Man, which is good. But then if he didn't have a heart, then why would he want one? He doesn't even want to love Nessa.
The heart thing was because Nessa tried to do a spell.
I know. And it backfired.
Yeah.
But my point is, if you didn't have a heart, would you then be wanting one? If he's so tortured loving Glinda, why would he want to continue feeling that when it's unrequited?
Good point, darling.
And he was really scary. I'm a bit scared of his face. I'm thinking it in my mind and it's making me a bit scared.
I know,
He's a really scary Tin Man.
That was another thing where I kept thinking it had been filmed in two parts, because I think we both had the thought, oh, did Ariana get the ick when she saw him as the Tin Man? But obviously she
got the horn.
She got the horn, the silver horn. Doot, doot. Yeah, I didn't like him as a Tin Man. Also, Nessa was a little bitch.
And Nessa...
She was nasty all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's funny, everyone's saying like, why did it have to be two films? But like the second half felt very much like, this could have been a series, thank you, so we can actually analyse.
Yeah, I could have explored a bit more
the progress of the characters.
Yeah.
But I guess when it's on stage, it's just like, oh, he's the Tin Man, and it just works, and it's all stupid. Like, whereas in a film, it felt a bit silly.
Yeah.
The Fiero.
It felt a bit silly. Yeah,
Fiero, that was silly.
I wanted more of him. Oh,
I thought
on the cross. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. I wanted. Yeah, it was kind of like all of the transformations happened quietly away.
Yes. Also, it sounds like we think it was terrible.
But I know, I enjoyed it.
We had fun, but maybe this is why I didn't like the musical when I first saw it. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know. But also, a lot of the tension was brought out of it by the fact that Elphaba just kept going and hanging out with the wizard and Glinda. Like, it was
I thought that exact thing. I was like, okay, so she's been fighting against the wizard for 13 years and now she's just popped in
to sing a little song with him and to give her a hug.
And she's suddenly like, oh, I'm taken in by his charm again. Like, if Trump invited me in for a cup of tea, I'm not going to suddenly decide that I want to, go with him.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's what's happened to Mamdani. No, just kidding. That happened to Trump.
Well, it was just
around.
like, then it didn't really feel like she was in... I know the whole point is that it's a kind of fake enemy scapegoat that is used to control the people, and like they're not actually really wanting to kill her because they kind of want her to exist so that they can hate her. But still, it didn't really feel like she was in any real peril if she's just able to just pop in there and walk around
and live in this one spot in the woods that's very open.
I did like her little witchy hovel.
I do think you could live there very happily.
I could.
What do you think about her sexy green legs?
That was so funny that
We were
she
like,
had
she's got black lingerie.
witch lingerie on, and we were whispered to each other, both gay, when they were her and Fiero were kissing because they just
the chemistry wasn't as strong.
No,
I was like, those are two gay people. Those are two
flying around and landing in the bed,
in the sexy bed.
Yeah, her green legs were so funny,
and I'm like, sex, really? You two are gonna have sex?
Come on,
heterosexual sex. Heterosexual intercourse
doesn't mean it's heterosexual. They might both be bisexual, but just having a relationship with each other.
No, I'm not saying.
I guess the sex is heterosexual.
Yeah. What do you think, Spin?
Sorry, boo boo. Sorry, Mr. Boo Boo.
Another thing that really riled us both up.
What was it?
I'll be there in a clock tick.
Oh my god. Okay, guys, did they even say clock tick in the first film?
I don't remember hearing it once in the first film.
They said it minimum 6 times.
It was too many times.
And then if there was like some kind of grand thing where there's like a clock ticking, which means they have to do something by a certain amount of time, maybe.
Yeah.
But that didn't even happen. It was just a turn of phrase that they decided existed in Arsland.
And it's funny because we tried to watch the first film before we went to see it. We only ended up watching about half.
Yeah.
Maybe the second half would have had a clock tick in and we'd be eating our words. But we were talking about how it didn't quite work with like the funny Oz words because they weren't in there enough. I find the Oz
language annoying.
Yeah, it wasn't in there enough to feel normal. And so it felt like they'd ramped it up with this one word that they made all the characters say obsessively. And it was too much with the clock tick.
Yeah, too much clock ticking.
Like, do we say seconds that much in a second that much?
I also think like in a moment.
Yeah. It only takes a clock tick.
Yeah, that was annoying. I also found the world jarring. Like, I think it kind of did resemble the Wizard of Oz in the way that like you in one place then the next and the next, but like that was made in the fucking 1930s, I think. So sets, they couldn't do as much with sets, but with this set I could just tell it was a set the whole time.
Also, in The Wizard of Oz, like, she's kind of hallucinating, so it's kind of okay. Whereas this, it's like, is it real or not?
That's another element.
Yeah.
They didn't even try and explain how Dorothy got brought in to the world, apart from Madame Morrible just going, you know?
Yeah.
Wiki witch.
With the school in the first film, I was able to kind of sink into that world for some reason and like feel like it was a bit real in a fantasy way, and
maybe
kind of see the edges of it, and like they got on a train and it felt like they were going somewhere, whereas this felt like there was Oz, which felt very, very tiny with lots of dancing people in it, and then there was a jungle, and then the Emerald City, correct. Yes. And then it was kind of like, I don't know where everyone else's mum and dads live. Like, where are all the normal people? Where are the munchkins?
There's just that field with all the rhinos.
Yeah.
Making the yellow brick road for some reason. Even though trains exist. I did really like the munchkins getting on the train and then they suddenly couldn't get on. And that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's hints of this like fascist state, and they're saying it by putting it in the script, but like there's not enough of a retaliation apart from Elphaba.
Yes, and that made it kind of weird that Bok was sort of punished in the narrative in a way, even though he was persecuted. Also, there was a couple of original songs made for the film, which I was very happy to have guessed.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I guessed one of them. I guessed the Girl in the Bubble one. I was like, this doesn't sound musically enough. And then the Elphaba one about there's no place like home.
Yeah.
I do think that was quite good at drawing out some of the themes of like colonialism and fascism and all of that kind of shit.
Yeah, but then also only the two people that in the narrative were the main characters who fought, three people that fought against the state the most, all ended up getting severely punished and excommunicated.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like, I mean, it's hardly going to be like a gritty, realist view of the world.
Yeah.
But like, is it more truthful to show how hard it is to conquer patriarchy? Or is it better to show the truth of how like hard it is to destroy those systems? Or is it better to show those systems being punished and the rebels being rewarded? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like, it felt weird that there was this whole commentary about propaganda and about creating an enemy to create like a hero, and then in the end it was like, oh yeah, you do actually have to tell everyone that she was evil and that she died in order for the good person to now be good and to rule.
And also, Glinda was horrible. And she was like a part of the machine, part of the fascist regime.
And how is she suddenly going to have the strength of character and the moral fibre to know how to rule well just because she sang a bit of a song?
And also because she was so easily swayed to go with the wizard. Yeah, how could she suddenly have that? Exactly what you just said. And why can't she know that Elphaba and Fiona are alive?
Yeah.
They were like, but she can never know. Why?
And why can't the people know that the wizard was a liar?
Yeah.
There was some passionate ideas in there, but they weren't thought through to completion.
What happened to the wizard again?
He just agreed to, well, he was Elphaba's dad, so he was so ashamed that he agreed to fly home to human land, I think, in a hot air balloon.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually shit.
It's a bit of a like Frozen vibes with how Elsa, everyone always thinks about Elsa and everyone loves Elsa and not Anna in Frozen.
Yeah.
When they should love Anna because she's the hero that goes on the emotional journey and she's fighting against evil, but they love Elsa because she's got a sassy dress on.
She's got blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Glinda kind of ended up getting to be the hero because she like slightly had a good thought once.
Yeah, I can't get on board with that. And I guess, yeah, I just don't understand how
Why can't they just rule us together?
Yeah, as the lesbian lovers that they deep down truly are.
Exactly.
That would have been much better.
I would have liked that ending.
Don't chuck away the scarecrow man.
Fiona can work.
Sorry, no, he's nice. So overall, I don't think it should be used in schools to teach
about
fascism. But, and if we have kids, I definitely want to make sure that they watch The Wizard of Oz a few times first to get that in, and then they can watch
part one only.
What do you think? Do you think you'll ever watch it again? Maybe.
I think I could watch it again. I'd definitely watch the first one again.
Yeah. Well, that's positive then.
And the second one, I enjoyed it. I could watch it again.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else have we been watching this week?
We watched Until I Kill You, which Erin recommended to us. And I thought it was a new thing because Anna Maxwell Martin seems to be everywhere at the moment. So I thought she was advertising it. And I said to her dad, I said to your dad, like, have you seen this new Anna Maxwell Martin thing? And I was explaining the whole thing. And he was like, no. And then I explained it. And then he was like, that came out last year. I was like, oh.
Well, it's on ITV.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants a little thriller to watch,
yeah,
it's a good one. But it's terrifying and it's a true story. So that makes it extra, extra scary.
It was quite the story.
Quite. it's based on an autobiography that's called something like Living with a Serial Killer.
Yeah, which they say right at the start. So we're like, oh, okay. So A, she survives, and B, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
So well done, ITV. But also quite a nice bit of relief.
Quite a relief to hold on to that. Yeah, because it's fucking terrifying.
But something I really respected about the production was that, unlike The Beast in Me, the violence, well, apart from one notable incident, the violence is mostly spoken about retrospectively. Like you don't see it in the moment. Like there's spoiler in one of the episodes, she's like tied to a bed for like 6 days and like sexually assaulted, and it looked like she'd only been there for like one night.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen any of the violence, which was good. Because we don't need to see that.
No.
You do not need to see that.
No.
No one needs to see that on TV. There was one particular like assault that was shown a few times, and that was quite horrible. But apart from that, like I was impressed with how terrifying they made him without showing us too much until like the final time.
Well, he was quite terrifying because of his creepy little drawings as well,
which were
that
real.
We got to see.
Yeah,
that really added to the horror. That's the kind of creepy thing that you want a villain to have, and it was actually real.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was horrible. Yeah, it was scary.
What a freaky psycho. Must still... Well, anyway, no spoilers.
Yeah. I just think there's so many... it's so often shown in these kind of TV shows of... But also this is a real life one. Like, we always see police, like, succeeding in murder mysteries and things,
like the detectives get to be the heroes,
and detectives being heroes if someone's been like sexually assaulted, which we know just like literally never happens. So is like are all of these police dramas just all part of the propagandist machine to make us like even Line of Duty, I guess, is like part of that, because it's like we actually get the bent coppers, and it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Do you though?
So this was good because it was very much not that,
but only because it was real, because it was a true story. So like that's even more depressing, because I just think that must just happen more than anything else.
Oh my god, this poor traumatized woman was trying to save people's lives by saying this man's obviously a psycho,
and they were just like, oh, she's mad.
Yeah.
And that's quite recent. Yeah, it just it makes me sad.
It was one of those things of like, as a woman,
yeah,
there's certain programs and films that you watch that give you too much of a real feeling of like, this is what we are vulnerable to all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like too creepy and real, and it kind of visits you, like the twofold thing of being ignored and dismissed and attacked randomly and murdered.
Yeah.
It's not like, a fantasy crazy story.
No. And also that whole thing, you said attacked randomly and murdered. They were going out for like a year or two before the kind of violence seems to have started.
Yeah.
So like that's always the most common experience, is that you're going to be sexually assaulted or abused by someone you know. That's much more likely. Yeah, it's just a bit dark. And also when you've got like loads of inquiries into the Met and like into the police force,
oh my God,
in general, of like internal, like in...
Have you heard the latest one?
What is it now?
There's this ex-serving officer who is like... There was 2 separate women who were like brought into custody or something, who used to be in a care home.
Oh my God.
And they like saw him because he was acting as he was doing something legal in there.
Yeah.
Because they had been arrested or something. And they recognised him as like someone who'd been abusing them as a child. And this happened to like 2 separate people who didn't know each other. But this happened years ago. It's like come out that this was kind of, he was allowed to retire without it. And there was apparently like a judge and like loads of, there was a paedophile ring going on with this police officer.
But because the girls were in a care home, they're probably like just neglected, and no one cares about kids in care homes which is, I'm not saying that actually, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, it's those kind of people always know where to go to find vulnerable people. But yeah, so it's like kind of come out again now.
It's so rotten,
crazy. And they said like you'd only, if there was an active investigation, you'd only be allowed to retire if someone very, very high up let that happen. Like, and someone let him go without the investigation being continued.
Yuck. Wonderful. And that's just two people that happen to get arrested in the police station.
There's no way to work in. Like, even though there might not be any like physical evidence now, like there's no way that those two random women would say the same thing and without knowing each other, or you know what I mean.
But I'm also just like, how many other victims are there that didn't happen to get arrested as well? Well, yeah, it's a bit depressing.
Should we move on to something jollier? I don't know what. Is there anything?
We've been watching Squid Game. That's not exactly jolly.
Oh, that is tense though.
I'm.
There was
it was stressful.
You were finding it stressful.
Yeah,
but it makes me laugh because it's like you're watching someone throw a tennis ball and catch it, and you're like, ah! It's just like the most stressful, amazing thing in the world.
But the only reason it's so crazy, isn't it, that like on the TV show, which we never watched.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the challenge.
Sorry,
by the way.
So on the drama, like obviously death is the punishment.
Yeah.
But on this one, the punishment is losing out on winning like an insane amount of money, like millions and millions of dollars. So like it's quite clever to make the cash prize so massive that like you do not want to lose it.
Yeah, we hadn't watched it before because I don't know, when I first heard about it existing, I felt gross about it. I was like, the whole point of the show is like, this is how far capitalism has come, and like using people's lives as entertainment, and like I object to the fact that it now is a reality show because that's just it becoming kind of real. But then I kind of watched it and I was like, this is actually just people playing silly games.
Yeah, which you love.
And it's a little bit traitor-y, like you get to see people deciding whether they need to make allies or stay isolated. People go in with their family members, which is quite fun.
Love that.
I want a few more. There's a lot of Americans, and they filmed it in London.
Yeah.
And I want a few more.
They obviously only went to a few places in like wherever they went because like everyone's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They obviously only did casting in like certain areas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's someone in it from where we're from, which is really random, and I don't really know how she got on it.
I think she was scouted apparently.
That's so random.
And it's funny because like round here she's such a big character.
Huge, yeah.
You can't imagine her being possibly ignored by anyone, but she wasn't shown on the show at all. It's
apart from like when she got eliminated.
Yeah. But I think apparently she was a bit like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So fair enough. But she made friends with Glyn from Big Brother, who was also on it, who was also not shown at all, who's an absolute star.
Sing a song.
I'm boiling an egg for the very first time. So it's just funny thinking of how big these personalities must be, or how good they are at seeing like through lines of narratives. I guess that's what it is. And I don't know, we're like three episodes in, but in the second episode there's a very heart-wrenching storyline.
I couldn't stop crying, and I'd already seen it before because I'd seen it on Gogglebox
with someone who gets horribly bullied, basically. Well, I wouldn't say bullied because it's not like a repeating he just someone is really nasty to him, and I feel like he's been bullied in his life. And someone basically just calls him, like, just says
everyone's going to judge you.
Everyone's going to judge you because of the way you look. And
he was like crying.
Horrible.
Oh my God, my heart broke. But then the person that did that fucked up and got eliminated. So good.
See ya, loser.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep watching it, and I think you should too. For fun. See who wins. But
that person building that house of cards, I still can't get over it. There was someone building a house of cards and they were shaking like so much.
God,
never.
The cards were all bent.
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I shake."
It's for me. It's just
my God.
It's a trauma nightmare because. Like, this is why I bunked off PE, because I don't want to be responsible for any other team losing because of something that I'm doing that's so shit.
Because you are really good at, good at sport.
Well, I'm not, but that's what I'm saying is like, I'm completely happy to be responsible for myself winning or losing.
Yeah.
As soon as you're responsible for other people, and it might be because of some physical awkwardness that you lose, and the physical awkwardness is amped up by the pressure.
Yeah.
It's just, I just didn't even want to try because the thought of losing is so bad. I'll do a bit of running, you know.
This is very interesting. Do you think this has got something to do? But you don't mind losing in a game, and you were raised to not mind losing in a game. So it's interesting. I was just immediately thinking, is that upbringing of like losing in a game, like why you were so worried about losing in
I think it's
PE,
made me a very good
no, it has. That's why I was it changed my mind as I was saying it aloud, so I'm confused as to,
but I guess I find games more stressful where maybe there's lots of people looking at you and you have to answer a trivia question and everyone's like,
and you're part of the team like you said, and you don't want to let anyone down. I think it's the dyspraxia, physical awkwardness, everything resting on your physical display. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I can't believe some of the people in this game think that they're going to win when they're just like a funny old 60-year-old man, when like it is basically physical games.
Yeah.
Like obviously, well, I would imagine one of the more athletic people is going to win, but I hope that's not the case.
That would be nice.
Be fun if not.
Yeah. I
don't know. Anyway, it's quite fun.
It is pretty fun.
I wouldn't be doing it, but I'll watch people doing it.
I feel like I wanted to interject so many times just to object to you saying about your physical. I understand that you've got dyspraxia, but you are just you're so aware of your body. You're such a good dancer. You've got such, I don't know, you're very in. Whenever I see you, I just see you so connected to your body, so like maybe your body sometimes or your mind sometimes fails you and you might drop something, but apart from that, like I feel like you've had to work so hard to be in tune with your brain and your body.
You're so sweet.
But that's true because I spend every day with you, so I know that.
I think maybe it's partly from being a very tall child.
Yes, and just getting tall
that
really
just
quick
makes you feel like you're too visible. And
yes, that's
clumsy.
True. And like you're literally looking over everyone.
Yeah. And there was all these like tiny little athletic girls running around.
And you're like, I don't know how my legs work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Bambi-esque.
Yes.
But I'm not saying I'm shit at everything.
No, I know. I just
want
you to know that you're not.
I'm definitely getting more confident with those things, but still I don't think I'd play a game of rounders at a party. You can do that.
Okay, I love it.
You'll be great at that. I admire your confidence and athletic prowess.
Thanks, darling. When I went and played netball that time, and I did like 7-minute, and I was like, I've never been so sweaty in my life. That was so hard.
Did you love it though?
No. I did not. I was like, I know the rules. I do not love this. Horrible.
Well, let's go and eat the bread that we've just baked.
You baked? Ooh. Daisy made some bread. I can't believe it.
First
so
time.
Wholesome. She's made a loaf of bread for the very first time.
I hope it's good and not weird inside. We'll see.
We'll find out. See what Paul Hollywood would say. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.